I travel solo pretty often, and whenever I tell people that, they're either impressed or slightly concerned. My friends are always curious. They ask where I go, how I choose my destinations, and whether I feel safe. I don't always travel alone, but I've visited all of these places and would feel completely comfortable returning to any of them solo. So I put together a list of destinations that felt welcoming, manageable, and exciting to explore on my own. Here are some great destinations for solo travel. Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is always at the top of my list. I genuinely feel like it's one of the safest cities in the world. And the thing about Tokyo is, it's huge. It's not just one city vibe. It's made up of so many different neighborhoods, and each one feels completely different. You could spend weeks there and still not run out of things to do. Some of my favorite areas within Tokyo are Shibuya, Shinjuku, and Ikebukuro. Shibuya has that iconic energy with the famous scramble crossing. Shinjuku is vibrant and exciting, especially at night. And Ikebukuro feels a little less touristy, but still packed with great shopping and entertainment. The transportation system is incredibly efficient. Most signs are translated into English, and solo dining is completely normal. London, England. London is one of my favorite cities in the world. I usually travel there with my sister Candy, but there were a few times I ventured out on my own, including going to a concert solo. Even taking the trains back at night, I felt completely safe. I've always loved British history and fascinated by the royal family. So seeing places like Westminster Abbey and Hampton Court Palace in person is incredible. And as a corgi owner, I can't help but smile at how closely London is associated with Queen Elizabeth and her corgis. London has endless things to do, excellent public transportation, and a very comfortable energy for solo travelers. Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva completely surprised me. I had about a 10-hour layover there and decided to leave the airport and explore. And it ended up being one of the easiest spontaneous solo outings I've ever done. The airport has lockers right near the train station, which made it incredibly convenient. From there, it's only about a 10-minute train ride into the city center. Everything felt clean, organized, and calm. Most people spoke English, which made navigating even easier. I spent the day walking along the lake, exploring the old town, and of course enjoying cheese fondue at restaurant Les Amours. Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon is smaller than many European capitals, which makes it very walkable, even though the hills will definitely give you a workout. When I first arrived, I joined the free walking tour, which I always recommend for solo travelers. It's a great way to learn the layout of the city and connect with other travelers. I ended up meeting another solo traveler on that tour, and after it ended, we explored Lisbon together for the rest of the day. I love making new friends on my solo travels. Lisbon's architecture is stunning. Many of the buildings are covered in beautiful patterned tiles, and walking through the city feels like wandering through an open-air gallery. One of my favorite neighborhoods was Alfama. The narrow winding streets and colorful buildings are incredibly charming, and the scenic viewpoints overlooking the red rooftops are absolutely beautiful. Prague, Czech Republic, or Czechia. Prague feels like stepping into a fairy tale. The architecture, the history, the cobblestone streets, it's stunning. It's also where I met my friend Kathy from Darling Traveler. She was traveling solo at the time, and we instantly connected. Since then, we've traveled together multiple times to countries like Turkey, Serbia, and Croatia. It just shows how solo travel can lead to lifelong friendships. I also met many wonderful locals through tours I joined. Prague has such knowledgeable and passionate guides who truly love sharing their city's history. Between Charles Bridge, the John Lennon Wall, and the astronomical clock, there's so much to explore, and it's very walkable, which makes it ideal for solo travelers. Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver is such a well-rounded city and a great mix of culture, food, and outdoor adventure. One of my highlights was visiting the Capilano Suspension Bridge. I won't lie, it was a little scary at first because you can definitely feel it sway, but that's what made it so thrilling. I also really enjoyed the Vancouver Aquarium. It ended up being much more fun than I expected, and the seals were absolutely adorable. And the Vancouver Police Museum was surprisingly fascinating. I love dressing up as a police officer and learning how crimes are solved. With scenic outdoor spaces, engaging museums, and an amazing food scene, Vancouver feels relaxed, approachable, and very comfortable for solo travelers. Bratislava, Slovakia. Bratislava is one of those underrated cities that deserves more attention. It's compact, easy to navigate, and full of fascinating history. One of the highlights for me was taking the post-communist tour with Authentic Slovakia. The guides were incredibly knowledgeable and genuinely passionate about their country. I learned so much about the region's past, and it gave me a deeper appreciation for Eastern Europe. Because the city is smaller, it feels approachable for solo travelers. You can explore the old town, enjoy the viewpoints, and still feel like you've covered a lot without being exhausted. Budapest, Hungary. One thing you have to do in Budapest is walk across the Széchenyi Chain Bridge, the iconic suspension bridge connecting Buda and Pest across the Danube River. The walk only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, but the views along the way are beautiful. Fun fact, the bridge was featured in Katy Perry's music video, Firework. Along the Danube, I also stopped by the Little Princess statue. It was the first statue built after the Soviet regime ended. Since I'm fascinated by communist history in Europe, I also visited Memento Park, an open-air museum filled with statues from Hungary's communist era. And of course, Budapest is known for its ruin bars like Simple Kert, creative, quirky spaces set inside abandoned buildings from the Soviet era. Ubud, Bali. Ubud is perfect if you're looking to slow down, reset, or even do a little soul-searching. I went during a time in my life when I really needed space to reflect, and it ended up being exactly what I needed. I joined the yoga retreat, which made solo travel feel less isolating. You're technically traveling alone, but you're surrounded by like-minded people. One of the most memorable experiences was hiking Mount Batur for sunrise. It was intense, especially for someone like me who is not great at hiking. But standing above the clouds watching the sun come up was unforgettable. I also hired a private driver, which is very affordable in Bali and makes it easy to explore at your own pace. One of my favorite stops was the Sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary. Being able to walk through the forest and see the monkeys up close was such a fun experience. Reykjavik, Iceland. Iceland almost feels like another planet. The landscapes are dramatic, vast, and truly unlike anywhere else. Reykjavik itself is a compact and very walkable city. You can explore many of the main attractions in a day or less. Most travelers use Reykjavik as their base, and then venture out to explore Iceland's incredible natural scenery. I usually don't drive when I travel to other countries, but I felt completely comfortable renting a car here. The roads are well maintained and easy to navigate. And if you'd rather not drive, there are plenty of tours departing from Reykjavik, where you can see some of Iceland's most incredible sights, including waterfalls, geysers, glaciers, and black sand beaches. Corfu, Greece. Corfu is the perfect blend of island relaxation and rich history. Old Town Corfu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's very compact, which makes it easy to explore solo. One of my favorite things to do was simply wander through the narrow streets and take in the historic architecture. From Corfu, you can also visit nearby islands like Paxos and Antipaxos, which have stunning beaches and clear blue water. I felt very safe the entire time, and the locals were warm and welcoming. That kind of atmosphere makes a huge difference when you're traveling alone. Vienna, Austria. Vienna has such an elegant, classic feel to it. If you love architecture, shopping, and cafe culture, this city is wonderful. One of the main shopping streets is Kärtnerstrasse. It's lined with shops, restaurants, and historic buildings that are beautiful just to walk past. Vienna is also famous for its coffee house culture. Many historical figures like Mozart, Beethoven, and even Sigmund Freud were known to spend hours in these cafes. And if you're a fan of the sound of music like I am, the day trip to Salzburg from Vienna is absolutely worth it. Dubrovnik, Croatia. Dubrovnik is breathtaking. Walking through Old Town feels cinematic, especially knowing that so much of Game of Thrones was filmed there. The narrow stone alleyways and historic buildings make you feel like you've stepped back in time. The views of the Adriatic Sea from above are stunning, and watching people cliff jump along the rocky coastline was so thrilling. I didn't do it myself, but just seeing it was exciting enough. Bruges, Belgium. Bruges feels like a real-life fairy tale. It's compact, charming, and incredibly easy to explore on foot. The canals, medieval buildings, and quiet cobblestone streets make it perfect for wandering without feeling rushed or needing a detailed itinerary. The food scene there really impressed me. I had an amazing breakfast at Balthazar, and one of the most memorable experiences was at Old Chocolate House, where you actually get to make your own hot chocolate. And of course, you can't visit Belgium without trying their Liège waffles. They're absolutely delicious. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Amsterdam has so much more to offer than what it's commonly known for. The canals are beautiful, but the museums are what really stood out to me. The Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, the Mocha Museum, and the Anne Frank House all offer meaningful and memorable experiences. I also loved visiting the Albert Kuip Market. It's one of the most famous markets in the city, and it's the perfect place to try fresh stroopwafels. Getting one warm right off the stand is a must. Bucharest, Romania. Bucharest is one of Eastern Europe's most underrated capitals. The old town is compact and walkable, filled with beautiful architecture, cozy cafes, and one of the most stunning bookstores in Europe, Cărturești Carousel. It's a 6-story bookstore known for its bright white curved interior design. Inside, you'll find over 10,000 books and even a small bistro on the top floor. I also explored the Primăveri neighborhood, which was once home to Romania's communist elite. I had hoped to visit the Tushka house, but it was closed during my visit. Even just walking through the area gave me insight into that part of Romania's history. Where Bucharest really stood out to me was the food and cocktail scene. Alt Shift, The Vault, Linia, Carucu Bere, and Grand Café Van Gogh all had incredible atmospheres and great drinks. Overall, the city felt warm and inviting, which makes a big difference when you're exploring on your own. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia feels completely surreal. The landscape was formed by volcanic eruptions thousands of years ago, and over time, the rock formations turned into what they call fairy chimneys. One of the most unique parts of staying here is sleeping in a cave hotel. These are real cave dwellings carved into the rock and turned into beautiful boutique hotels. Most people come for the iconic hot air balloons at sunrise. Unfortunately, during my trip, the winds were too strong and all balloon flights were canceled.
Not happening.
I was definitely disappointed, but even without the balloons, the scenery is still incredible. Exploring the Goreme Open Air Museum and the underground cities gives you such a deep appreciation for the ancient history here. And what really stood out was how friendly and welcoming the locals were. Turkish hospitality is genuine, and I always felt comfortable and safe. These are places I've personally visited and would confidently return to on my own. Solo travel can feel intimidating at first, but choosing the right destination makes all the difference. With the right planning and mindset, it can also be one of the most empowering experiences you'll ever have. If you've been thinking about traveling solo, I hope this list gives you both inspiration and confidence.